Welcome to Happy Hour. I'm Haley Chura. We are hot off the 4th of July weekend. I'm joined again by Jocelyn, Wongstar, Neil, 3 weeks in a row. Jocelyn, you have really outdone yourself in podcasting recently.
Well, we couldn't skip this week because you had your race, and I wanted to hear all about it, and I'm sure all of our listeners wanted to hear all about it.
I appreciate that so much. To be perfectly honest, I was not going to podcast about the race. I was kind of like, no one cares. That was a little bit how I felt. And then on Instagram, when I posted some stuff, people actually said, I'm excited to hear about it on the podcast. So to
See?
all those people, you're the reason we're doing this. Thank you. You made me feel really
Yes.
good, which I will take every ounce of that right now. And Jocelyn, thank you for coming on and being a sounding board so I didn't have to just chat by myself.
We're giving the people what they want.
Thank you. How was your 4th of July before we get into that?
Oh my gosh, it's so hot here. So hot.
That's right. You're on the East Coast. You're in Delaware, and that
Yeah,
East Coast has had major heat wave, some
it's been
crazy
over
like
100
storms.
every day, and
Oh,
then thunderstorms. So our city usually has fireworks, like, when it gets dark at 9:30, but last night and we can see it from our backyard, which is pretty cool because it's
it's
right at the
cool.
University of Delaware, which we live close to, and so they announced, like, they were gonna set them off an hour early because they were trying to beat the storm. So, it wasn't quite dark yet as the fireworks started going off, and I think they only lasted 5 minutes and got cut short.
Wow.
Then we just had a movie night instead, but Ainsley's just been wanting to run through the sprinklers every day, and
Um,
it's been more
and
fun for her than swimming. She'll put on her swimming goggles and run through them.
I mean, I feel like that is childhood. Like that
Uh-huh.
sounds like idyllic, running through a sprinkler on a hot day. It's cool that that's still happening in 2026, but I hope that the weather does break for you soon and you get some relief from that heat. I hope everyone on the East Coast. I know that I had a few athletes running the Peachtree Road Race this past weekend.
Ooh.
They actually did very well. Everyone did very well, but it was over 100 degrees in Atlanta, and
Yeah.
I think they were saying it could possibly be the hottest, like, start ever for the Peachtree Road Race, and that race has been around forever. So, I kudos to the people who raced and raced so well, but I also think that, you all deserve a break. So I hope it's coming. I hope it is coming too, because that's a long time to have it be that hot. But, speaking of which, what I think you had a drink to cool off. You
Okay,
made this
yeah.
week.
So it's my Disney cup, but
Yay, I
I
love the
was
Disney
going
Cup.
to do a spicy margarita again in honor of, like, how hot it's been, and then I was like, "You know what? It was too late for me to chop off the jalapenos," so I was like, "In honor of it being so hot, I'm gonna not do a spicy margarita," so there. It's
So it's a
just a
regular
it's just
margarita.
a plain one, yes.
I appreciate that. I know you had your shaker out earlier. I am going to pour what do I have? I have a raspberry lemon hard seltzer today. Every
Ooh.
time I go to the, like, store, I'm like, "I need to get a Pilsner," like Erin Trail when she was our
Mhm.
beer expert, and every week I forget. But I'm going to eventually, maybe when Erin comes back, I'll have her I'll get a Pilsner in her offer. But I've never tried this, a raspberry lemon, but it felt like summery, so here we go.
Yeah.
But cheers to the 4th,
Yay,
and thank you for joining
cheers.
me, and I am sporting my hat from the Bangtail Divide 38K, which is the race I did this last weekend, to celebrate the 4th of July. They gave me the option of, like, a hat or sunglasses, when you picked up your
Oh.
bib. Yes, but I was like, "Oh, there's a green hat." I was like, "I definitely need that." I feel like it maybe I don't know if it fits me perfectly, but whatever. I like a good
It's
hat.
neon. I love it.
I know, it is neon. Okay, Jocelyn, we need to talk about this race, though, because I was a little nervous going into it. 38K, which was like it turned out to be around 24 miles,
Okay.
on trails. I don't have a lot of trail running experience, and I haven't raced in a while, and I was a little out of my element, and I had asked a lot of folks for advice. People who had run this race before, people I knew had, trail running experience, and to be perfectly honest, I took all the wrong advice, and, like, I took all the
Oh,
wrong advice, and I ignored all the right advice, I think,
okay.
one of
Spill
which
it
was
all.
well, I had advice like, maybe don't wear neon because, like, I like a costume, I like neon, that
Yeah,
kinda
yeah.
thing, I wish I had worn more neon. Like, in hindsight, I
Okay.
should have worn more neon. I don't think anyone would have cared. I mean, I know that trail, like, aesthetic is maybe a little bit more, like, earth toned,
No, no,
but
no. I think trail is especially neon, because like, the trails that I run around here, sometimes there's, like, hunters.
okay.
And so it's even more important that you are seen and not mistaken for, like, a deer.
Well, I did wear red, white, and blue. I wore, I think, red shorts, blue sports bra, and the vest, but I
Uh-huh.
did, and so I did wear that, I was kind of patriotic. It was on the 4th of July, but it felt a little odd. I feel like I should have worn some neon. So that was a piece of advice that, I will throw in the trash for next time, if
No
there is a
neon,
next
yeah.
time.
It's you didn't feel like yourself.
Right. The vest, though, that one I got as advice from you, from a lot of people to
Uh-huh.
wear the vest, and it was great. The running vest. I wore the Solomon running vest, and it was I really like it. I didn't really have any chafing issues. Um I had gotten a little bit of advice on this specific race. It was about the start of it was about 6 miles uphill. And so
Okay.
what my good friend Nikki Kimball, who was volunteering at the first aid station, is like at mile 4.5, and she was like, don't put any water in your vest and fill it up at mile 4.5. And like, I'm thinking of this as a triathlete, and I was like, I'm gonna stop at mile 4.5 and fill up my water bottles? Like, that seems crazy, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll just run with them full. And I was running up that hill, Jocelyn, and I wish those things were empty. I was like, Nikki was right. That one I was, oh man.
So you had
It
to
was
run the 4.5 miles up the hill
just
with
carrying extra water, and it
all
was
your water.
cold at the start. Like, it was
Okay,
chilly at the start.
okay,
And so that one I should have listened to Nikki, and I should have I and also I don't think I realized like the cadence of these like aid stations. There were 3 aid stations,
okay.
and truly they are kind of meant to be stopped at. I
Yeah.
think. It's not like a triathlon where you just,
Oh,
like,
because 'cause
go
you're
through.
you're used to the Ironman aid stations where you're just, like, running to and grabbing stuff and people are, like, holding things out for you.
Right. I know. I'm a high maintenance human. I'm a high maintenance athlete, and I just learning I have to accept that. But this was a cupless
Uh-huh.
race, and so, I would actually consider carrying, like, one of those collapsible cups, which I think some people had said to carry that
Okay.
because then you can get, like, Coke and stuff into that, and it's
Oh,
not
yeah,
like
yeah.
I figured I was like, "Oh, I'll just wanna, like, refill my" I had Gatorade
Okay.
in my vest, but I was like, "I don't wanna pour out the Gatorade, but I would like some Coke, sometimes." So, I
Yeah.
learned a few things there, and Nikki was right. Like, I didn't need anything to drink those first 4.5 miles, and I really should have
Uh-huh.
just, like, filled it up at 4.5 and, like, stopped and chatted with her, and I don't know. You live and learn. And then those were, like, some of the big ones. Also should have carried more food. So, that is, like, a definite thing because 'cause I'm
Uh,
like, I think 24 miles, and you're like, "That's not that far." Like, I was like, "Oh, I'll fuel it kinda like I would a marathon." Like, I know it's gonna take a little bit longer than a marathon,
okay.
but those first miles, I was running, like, 11-minute pace up the
Yeah.
hill,
Yeah.
and so it takes a long time to cover that distance. I was like, "What is this?" Like, I it was a little humbling, just, like, seeing some of those mile paces, and I run trails a
Yeah.
lot, but just not quite like that, and,
Yeah.
but anyway, so there were some lessons learned,
Uh-huh.
some huge high points on the day. My friend Jen, who was on the show last week, Jen
Oh,
Lockowitz,
for a book club,
she
yes.
yes, for our Mary Kane book club, she actually gave me a ride up to the start, because remember that was like I was like, "How do I get there?"
You were
Because I
gonna
don't
ride
like
your bike
driving.
there.
Because it started, like, 16 or 17 miles away, and initially I was gonna ride my bike there. Thought it started later in the day. It started at 6:30. That's kinda early. Even this time of year, it's light out early, but I was like, "Oh, man." But Jen decided she was gonna go do a bike ride, in the same area, so she actually drove me up, and then while I was running, she went and did a bike ride and then
Mhm.
met me at the finish, and she got a really good
Oh,
video of me
that's
finishing. So
awesome.
That was very cool. I will say thank you to Jen. I felt like I woke up that morning, more nervous than I expected, I think.
Okay.
I think I wasn't quite Ironman nervous. Like my last 2 Ironmans, I just remember waking up dripping sweat. Like dripping sweat, just
Okay.
so nervous. And this one wasn't quite that way. Um, Usually for an Ironman, I would wake up 3 hours before the start.
Mhm.
I did not do that for this one. I woke up about I think Jen was picking me up at 5 and I woke up at 4:30. That was another mistake.
Wait, did you have time to take a broccoli shot then? That's supposed to
Mm-mm.
be 3 hours before the start.
I I regret that. I should have I have 2 broccoli shots in my fridge. I should have taken one. I should have slept more in the days leading up to the
Okay.
race. I, like, went to bed late. I just didn't treat this like a race. I
Yeah.
should have eaten more the day before. I should have gotten up earlier and eaten breakfast, given myself more time to eat breakfast. Like,
Uh-huh.
looking back now, all of these are things that compounded to make the day harder than I expected, and I am a seasoned, like, endurance athlete, I wanna say.
I think you're, like, in denial about wanting to take it seriously. Like, you're kind of like, to me, it's like you're on the fence, like, "Oh, I'm just doing this for fun," but, like, secretly, I wanna do well, but then you're almost, like, self-sabotaging.
I think you hit the nail on the head. I think I don't wanna admit how much I cared. I
Yeah.
do think that's
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
exactly it, and that was why I went in, I was like, "I don't wanna have trail shoes, I don't wanna have the vest, I don't wanna, like, eat a good breakfast before," and then slowly it's kind of unraveled, and I got the vest, I got the trail shoes, and I didn't quite get those last pieces together, because that was exactly how it
Mhm.
felt. It felt like my body likes racing. My body likes going hard. My body remembers that,
Yeah.
but, like, my brain was struggling. And so, I don't know, maybe
Yeah.
if any of our listeners have, like, experience with this or, it's just maybe this is just part of the transition to, like, a different part of life, but I didn't, I kind of the reason I bought the trail shoes was having done a 5K a few weeks ago and realizing I
Mhm.
didn't wanna make it harder for myself, like, these
Yeah.
events are pretty hard, and I'm like, "Don't make it harder," but this one was, like, a big disconnect, but I should have warmed up. I think that was another piece of advice I got that was like, "Oh, don't warm up." And when I did New York City Marathon, I didn't warm up. When I did, like, Kona, I didn't warm up. I think the difference was I was actually, like, kinda cold before the start, and then
Yeah,
it
okay.
also just wasn't that many I hadn't been awake that many hours. Like, I was actually, like I'd only been awake for, like, 2 hours, which is, like, I think it's kind of long, but, like, not that many hours versus, like, New York City Marathon, you're sitting around, like, you're ready to go. And,
Yeah.
'cause, oh my god, I felt so bad those first couple miles. Like,
Okay. Yeah.
I was like, "I'm not gonna make it." And I went out okay, but it was again, I felt like my bag was too heavy. I felt like I was maybe going a little too hard. We had to go over this cattle grate, and I was like, "Oh my god, I can't get over it." Like, I was like, "What?" It was not my finest moments, but I had a few friends. I did know a few people at the start, and that was really nice, and it was very chill. Like, it was very, like, maybe 80 people, I think, in the whole
Okay.
race, so it was, like,
Mhm.
very chill. There was, like, a group that went out ahead. The woman who won so spoiler alert, I did finish 2nd, but the woman who won, I, like, didn't see her. I sat next to her on the bus on the way, like,
Yeah.
we had to take a little shuttle there, and I didn't quite catch her name, but I didn't see her after, like, the first step. Like, she was gone. So, it wasn't like a big battle or anything like that. How it kinda played out, we were, like, started on this road, and then we started going up these switchbacks, which was also, like, I was more ready for the road, and then I should
Yeah.
have it's another thing I should have done. I should have this course is not that far from my house. I could have run, like, the first
Oh,
part or
you
the
didn't
last
do
part.
any course previews.
No. No, why didn't I? I signed up for this months ago, and I've had
Yeah.
plenty of time,
Okay.
but I just didn't because I just like running near my house, I guess, I don't know, but I very easily could have and should have.
Yeah.
So I was kinda shocked by, like, the steepness of going uphill, and I was running the beginning, I had this guy behind me, and I could tell he was, like, right behind me, and I was like, "Do you wanna go ahead? Like, am I holding you up?" Because 'Cause we're on pretty narrow trail, like, switchbacks,
Yeah.
and he's like, "No, no,
Okay.
no, I'm trying to keep my heart rate down." Which I'm like, in the meantime, my heart rate's probably like a sky high. And I felt like this pressure. I was like, I can't get in his way. So I was probably going a little harder than I should have.
Okay.
and around mile 3, he's like, "Okay, I'll go ahead." And he just took off, and I was like, "Oh, perfect, I'll sit behind you." And I was like, "No, no, I will not." So after mile 3, I basically ran alone the whole rest of the race. Like
Oh, wow.
yes, like, it was, like, again, in the very beginning, I will shout out to Victoria. This happened in, like, the first half mile. I ran next to this woman named Victoria, and
Mhm.
she was like, "I watched you finish in Kona so many times." And that caught me off guard in, like, the best way possible. Like, that was honestly the best thing that could have
Oh,
happened to me
that's
in the start of the
awesome.
race because I felt very out of place. I felt very just a little I'm an awkward person,
Mhm.
but that
Mhm.
was, like, really awkward. Just being at this race, I don't know. And so it was really, really nice. And Victoria actually ended up getting 3rd. She had a great race.
Nice.
And
Good job,
so
Victoria.
I know, and she was like, "Sorry, I fangirled you." I was like, "No, can I have a picture?" I was like because I was like, "You
Oh,
made my day." So
that's
she's
awesome.
we love the trail running triathlon crossover. I really appreciated that. But and it was a beautiful morning. It was so beautiful.
That's
Um,
awesome.
I do wish I had worn my, like, race sunglasses, which have, like, the darker lenses and, like, more neon on
That's
those
hard
were
to tell, though, if you're, like, in a trail
I
run.
know. I thought having lighter ones,
Yeah.
but in the initial,
Yeah.
we were, like, running directly into the sun,
Okay.
and it was very bright. And then later, we kinda ended up more foresty, but,
Mhm.
I brought my phone. I did not bring headphones, and I kind of wished I had brought headphones at one point because I was just alone, and I was like, "You know what I really need right now is, like, some Taylor Swift."
Why didn't you just play it on speaker? That's what I would do.
I should have probably done that.
It's
I
like
took
no
my
one's
phone out.
around you.
I know, I should have just done that. I don't know.
I've
I
done
don't
that on the trails where it's
You
like, "See?
have?
I have."
Are you? Because it's like you're afraid of animals or just because you didn't have
No!
headphones?
No, yeah. Well, because I feel like if you're on the trail and you have, like, the headphones in, you might not hear if someone's next to you, but if you just have it, like,
Okay.
blasting a little in your pocket or, like, out of your sports bra, then
I
it's
should have done
yeah,
that. I've only
yeah.
ever done that once when I was in Cody, Wyoming, and I was just, like, running on this dirt road, and I was so scared of bears, and so I put my phone on, like, as loud as I could, and I was, like, blasting it. I was like, "Oh my goodness, I cannot get eaten out here." But and I was fine. I didn't see any bears, but I probably scared them away with my Taylor Swift. But I know. So I was like, I had been up a little late looking at for Taylor Swift wedding pics, and that's what finally did get me awake at 4:30 AM was I was like, "Oh, I need to check and see are there any pictures?" Which I just saw the guests like coming and going. I hope maybe by the time this podcast comes out, we'll have official pictures. Did you follow the Taylor Swift wedding at all?
Um So I remember there were rumors that it was, like, happening around now, but then it was actually I follow Elmo on Instagram, and I saw he posted congratulations to his friend Taylor Swift, and I was like, "Oh,
Oh.
clearly this is where I get my pop culture news from these days is from Elmo."
Good source. It's a good source. That's a more reliable source than some of the ones out there. But yes, congratulations to Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. I was overly excited because, just like a lot of us, our parasocial relationships with
Mhm.
Taylor go pretty deep. So I was trying to like think about that. Like I did take my phone out once to like when I was on this plateau and just the mountains were so pretty and the wildflowers were so pretty. So I tried to like take a picture and take some video, but like I ended up, like, dropping my credit card on the ground, which why
No.
did I have a credit card? Why did I have a credit card on the trail? What was I
Because you had
thinking?
extra pockets and you wanted them to be useful.
Right, and so I'm like, "Oh, okay, I lost my no, I did pick it up. I stopped and picked it up, I dropped the phone. I was like, "I cannot do this. I do not have the skills." I got, like, one little video, and then I was like, "Put that thing away," because 'cause I'm like, "This is just you're just gonna make more trouble for yourself." So that plan didn't go, but it was beautiful. Don't have photo evidence, but it was really, really beautiful out
Mhm.
there. There were not a lot of people. There were 3 aid stations, and so I went to the first 2 aid stations grabbing nothing because this was another overcorrection because,
Okay.
I ran that 50 miler in February, like,
Yeah.
not super planned, and that one it was on a 2-mile loop, and I was like, "I'm gonna bring nothing. I'm just gonna use the aid station," right? Because 'Cause I'm like, "We'll hit the aid station every 2 miles." And then I was, like, very overwhelmed at that race because the aid station didn't have
Uh-huh.
as much as I thought it would, and I, like, really needed my own stuff, and I was like, "Oh." So I kinda overcorrected for this one, and I'm like, "I'll just carry everything I need, and I won't need the aid stations unless I get real thirsty." And, I think that was a mistake. Again, I think when there's only 3 aid stations, you probably should use them. Like, you should probably stop for them. And, so that was a mistake going through those first 2 aid stations. I wish I had used the aid stations a little bit more. So, by the time I got to the 3rd aid station, which was at
Mhm.
mile 18, Jocelyn, I was in really bad shape, like, really bad shape, and this was, like, so shocking to me. So, in the first 16 miles of this run, which did
Mhm.
take me probably a while, right? Like, I mean, that's over it was more than, like it was probably getting close no, not quite 3 hours, but, like, closer to 3 hours than 2 hours, like,
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
exactly what the time was. I did have some faster miles in there. I was actually really, really trying hard to, I wanted to break 8 minutes, and then I hit, like, an 8:00, and I was like, "No!" But, on, like, one of the more downhill miles,
Yeah.
but so I was doing pretty good for a little while there and, like, ticking off some good miles, and the trail got, like, a little bit flatter and more runnable, like, how I like it, and I was, again, just totally alone out there.
Mhm.
And then I got to, like, mile 16, and I had taken 6 gels. I had taken 6 gels. I was doing a pretty good job of taking care of myself, and I did learn from that February race. I wore a watch, even though I don't on a lot of my training runs, but I run a lot of the same loops, and so I don't need a watch. And I wore a watch, and I'm glad I did because it helped me, like, keep track of time and miles because it was very hard to do that. Even though I've done some of my best Ironman
Yeah.
marathons without a watch, and I know I'm capable of running without a watch, and it still counts even if you don't wear a
Wait, but
watch.
did this race
Um
have all the miles marked? Or was it? Because I don't yeah, it's not like Iron Man. So, I know
Right,
trail
no.
races I've done, it's like, there's not mile markers, like, sometimes you get to the aid station and they'll tell you what mile you're at, but it's not
Right,
always.
right, yes, no, exactly that, and even my brain was like, "How many miles is this? I don't know," but,
Mhm.
so I was glad. I finally changed my watch back to miles. I had been in kilometers because the last time I had used it really was I was running with Tamara Jewett and
Okay.
pretending to be Canadian,
Yeah.
and so and a fast runner back then, but, so this time I'm like, "Okay, miles, I like this better for my American brain on, 4th of July, we gotta go miles."
Yes.
But I even though it's a 38K race, but I think, yeah, it was good that I had that. So I thought I was doing a pretty good job, but I went through all 6 gels within the first 16 miles, and then I got to mile 16 and I
Mhm.
was so hungry. Like, which was a very weird feeling. Like, it's only been like 2.5 hours or something, and I was so
Yeah.
hungry. Have you ever felt hungry during a race?
I bet it's because you weren't going as hard as, like, if you're doing, like, a road marathon, so then, because I do feel
Okay.
like when I'm going harder, like, your appetite's just not there, like, I mean, if you're going the correct effort, then I, like, consider it, like, vomit level. You're
Okay.
not hungry, but then if you are, like, doing a trail race where you're not able to go that hard, then you do end up getting hungry.
I didn't even consider that, but that might be it because there were moments when I was just out there running and I was like, "Haley, it's a race. Remember, it's a race." Like, push because it felt like I was just doing a training run, but I forgot my music at home. That was kind of what it
Yeah,
felt like.
yeah,
I mean, I'm on a different route. It was beautiful. You had the Bridger Mountains, the crazy
uh-huh,
mountains. It was like you have really cool mountain views and
yeah,
but maybe that's it because I'm like, "Why am I hungry?"
uh-huh,
And so I was quite hungry at mile 16. I go through an aid station at mile 18, and I was like, "Oh, can I have some Coke?" And, like, could I put they had it in a can, and I just was like, "Can I put it in one of these little cups?" Because they had, like, little cups that, like, the food was in. So,
yeah,
again, I
yeah.
sort of break the rules, but, like and the guy was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "I'm great."
Did you
And
eat,
he's
like,
like
cookies? Did you eat any solid food?
I had some gummies, but, like,
Okay.
I was he's like, "Do you have any electrolytes?" And I was like, "Do I seem like I need electrolytes?" He's like, "Yeah, you're, like, shaking."
Oh.
I did not even know I was shaking. Like, I felt, again, hungry, but
Yeah,
I felt
okay.
okay, and then I was like, "Oh, no," because every triathlon I've done, I talked to Erin Trail about this. I go into these aid stations and I'm like, "I'm dying. I'm dying. Someone put me out of my misery." And they're like, "No, you look great. You look
Oh,
fantastic.
and
Just
this
keep
guy is
going."
like, "You look like crap."
I've never had that happen before. Like, "Oh, no." And so I have, like, 7 miles to go,
Yeah.
and, so I'm like, "Okay, it's mostly downhill for 7 miles," and so he's like, "Here, will you take some pickle juice?" So I did, I took some pickle
Ooh.
juice, which actually was good. I should have taken more pickle juice. I do
Okay.
think maybe I did need some electrolytes, like, I
Uh-huh.
had the Gatorade, but
Yeah,
again, it wasn't
yeah.
that hot. It warmed up, but I
Uh-huh.
think maybe it was like, okay, what would I do during a normal Ironman? I would have been like, great on the salt all week. I would have, not lived the life I lived last week and leading
Yeah.
into it. And so I think it was sort of like life catching up to me a little bit. And just I mean, this was probably a good experience because I think I'm pretty good at telling other people what to do and that
Sure.
sort of thing. And like you said, I wanted to be like, oh, I don't care that much. And then it ended up with me like on Mars at mile 18, and I'm like, "Shoot." And I was just like, "Okay, you cannot pass out. You cannot, like, go down these
Okay.
last 7
Yeah.
miles," because I'm like, "That would be so embarrassing." Like, that would be so embarrassing. Like, I know quite a few people who are gonna be running by me, if I end up, like, stopping or something like
Yeah.
that or, like, passing out, and I cannot ruin their day like that. The only good thing I had was, like, I'm like, "Okay, I got this new job. I got good health insurance." They'd probably pay for the helicopter that I would
You can do that.
to get so I think that those are like the thoughts, but I'm like, okay, stay with it, stay with it. So I had some gummy candy and I'm like, just put that in your mouth, like get that, drink all your Gatorade, get all of that in you.
Mhm.
So I mean, I have the experience of doing endurance races and I had a couple Ironmans where maybe I got to that level, but it's like usually more like, around like mile 18 of the Ironman marathon, which is like closer to like 7, 8 hours of exercise, not under 3.
Oh.
Like,
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, what is this? And so
But
it was a
also you're
very,
not Iron Man shape, remember?
well, yeah, there's that too. Thank you for reminding me. But I think I was, like, trying to, like, do some math equations. I was trying to, like, recite Taylor Swift lyrics and be like,
Okay.
"Just keep my brain engaged, keep my brain
Yeah,
engaged." And,
yeah.
like, to be perfectly honest, Jocelyn, my legs felt fine. Like, my body felt fine. Even on those last downhills, like, I felt fine. I was just like, do not trip, stay upright, don't get lost, make
Is
sure you
it, like,
follow the flags."
downhill? Like, the last several
Yeah, it was like
miles?
switchbacks, like
Okay.
so I did get passed by one guy,
Uh-huh.
who passed me, and he was, like, flying, and I was like, "Whoa," and he's like, "I'm gonna miss my PR by 2 minutes," and I was like, "You go, man." I think he ended up winning, overall Masters. So Masters
Okay.
was 45 and up at this race,
Oh,
so
fascinating.
I don't know. I was not a Masters athlete, but I tried to follow him and it was like, "Oh no." It was like a different level, right? Like when you see
Mhm.
people who are really good at downhill, I was like,
Oh,
"Oh my
yeah.
gosh." Even
Yeah.
without my slight impairment, it was definitely yeah, it was an experience, but I made it down. I didn't fall. I didn't get lost, which were like huge bonuses. I think
Yeah.
when I did go through mile 4.5, that aid station, Nikki Kimball, I interviewed her for Iron Women. She, has won Western States.
Mhm.
She's won UTMB. She's like an incredible athlete. And she did say to me, she's like, Haley, this is your vacation race. Go have your vacation race, which I think was that I did repeat that to myself a lot. I was like, this is a vacation race. Like, that's
Mhm.
what this is. I think one of my problems is that like my body like just gets in race mode and was going probably maybe
Yeah.
just at an effort I hadn't trained for. And so it was a learning experience. I made it down. I did finish second. I was very happy to come across the line. And then I was like, oh my goodness, I got a hot dog, I got 2 beers and and then I felt a little better. So I came back to earth. I did come back to earth, but yeah, it was an interesting experience. I will say that. Like now that I'm through it and I made it through, it was an interesting experience. And I think I do need to figure out like a little bit better especially if I'm gonna keep doing anything longer. I really need to get I need more calories. I'm like, I don't know. I think I do need to take better care of myself with that. So, good learning experience, but, I am looking back, I think I'm proud of the day that you came back.
Oh, hi. I love that you
Okay.
got a hot dog at the end of the race for 4th of July. That sounds perfect.
I think I feel like I was the only one who had a hot dog, but,
What?
yes, no, that was perfect. I know. Okay, Ironman did teach me I felt like I was eating and drinking a lot more than other people, again, maybe because I was really hungry, but, I feel like Ironman really taught me, like, how to, like, eat like, my stomach was great the whole time,
Okay.
so that's a plus, and
Mhm.
people were incredibly nice, and that was really cool, and it was, it was overall a very positive experience. I would definitely do this race again, definitely.
Amazing, and it's so close to you, you should.
I know I need to find another goal now though,
Yeah.
because I do think this has been healthy for me to have a goal.
Mhm.
I don't know if I have it in me to go any longer. Like 24 miles felt so long, and maybe I feel like I would need to make, like, lifestyle changes so that I don't skip lunch or something like that. And I'm a little if I want to do anything, longer, but I don't know. You've done, like, 50 milers,
Yeah,
like,
I've done longer, but
do
it
you feel like
is
that was
so much running.
and I don't feel like I get this way in training. It was just the race day, but maybe it was just a bad day. I don't know. Not like a bad day. I just a day I needed more calories. I don't know.
So, when I've gone up to 50-miler distance, I do remember stopping more at aid stations and, like, eating a bit more solid food, like, not regularly, not, like, every 30 minutes or anything, but if there was, like, a bigger aid station that had I don't know, there's always, like, really good food, like bacon and pancakes, and so I have had solid food, which seems to help with, like, the hunger issue. Yeah, because have you ever do you go on coffee shop rides where you, like, have a pastry, like, in the middle of the ride and, like, then ride
I
back
haven't done
home?
that in such a long time. I mean, maybe, but I used to do a lot of rides like around here. I wouldn't there's nowhere to stop. So like I would only
Okay.
bring like a backpack and then it was all what I brought. So like I'd stop in my backpack, but it's
Uh-huh.
like pretty quick. And my last couple of years of my career, I trained a lot by myself, and so no,
Okay.
there was no coffees. There's barely any. Very, very few times would I
Okay.
stop and have yeah, a croissant or
But I
something.
also, like, used to eat, like, Hello Panda chocolate cookie biscuits, like, during Ironman, so I did
Yeah.
find, like, moving to the ultra distances, I would train my stomach to eat more solid food because I would get hungry if, like, I couldn't do it all on gels and, like, powdered sports drinks because you just get
Yeah.
hungry, so gotta
I
eat
mean,
some more
that's
real
why this
food.
shocked me so much that, like, I wanted gels. Like, I hadn't even had a
Yeah.
gel since I guess at
Ah.
Disney, so since January, I haven't had a gel, and I just bought some at the running store, like, the day before. I mean,
Wow.
so I really gosh, I'm learning way too much on these, like, from experience that I should
Mhm.
have, but anyway, we'll see. Have you ever wanted to go further than 50 miles?
Um, well, I had kicked around the idea of doing 100, like, just to do one, but that was,
Uh
like, before I had a child, and I would wanna do one that's not that technical.
should do one of those loop ones. Maybe we should do one of
Ugh.
those loop ones together. Ainsley can come cheer. She can crew for us. Maybe when she
We
gets old
could.
enough to crew.
Yeah, maybe when she gets older, we could,
Mhm.
just for
I
fun.
don't know if I have it in me. Lauren
Yeah.
Jones, who was on the podcast, a few weeks ago after Cocodona, she
Mhm.
did send me a nice message saying congratulations. And I was like, Lauren,
Aw,
you do more than 10 times that race. Like 24 miles, like
that's right, she did the
crushed me.
250, which is wild. So
More than
wild.
10 times what I did.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, what in the world? Like, I mean, that's what people do.
Yeah.
And yet I'm like like, worried about passing out in only 24 miles. I'm just like, "What is" like, I've got there's gotta be more to me. I'm
It's
like,
still
something
hard, it's still
Yes,
hard.
it is hard, and that's what I tell people, like, even a 5K is hard, like, running is
Yeah.
hard, and so, if I wanna continue doing this, I've gotta, like, make some changes, I'll work on that, and, but I am proud of my performance, and it did show that, like, I feel like I still got something in me,
You still care, and it's
and
okay to still care.
okay, thank you for saying that. I think that is a lot of it. I think that's a lot of it, and that's, like it's a weird place to be right now,
Yeah.
but thank you to everyone who did want to hear about this and who gave me the tips, and the trail shoes were worth it, the vest was definitely worth it. I should have run with the vest more than twice. I will say, like, I probably should have, like, adjusted some things a little bit better.
Oh, the straps
Um
and stuff.
yeah, and just made sure
Yeah.
everything was tight because I feel like I was, like, trying to do that while running because I was like, "Oh, I kinda would like this a little tighter." Maybe I was wearing something different underneath, I don't know, but I should have probably tested things. I ran in the shoes for the first time 2 days before, and but they worked great, they were
Yeah,
fine, so that was good. I didn't have any blisters or any
that's
major I should have
awesome.
tied them a little tighter. I was, like, chatting with people too much before the start, and I'm like, "I should have probably, like, tied my shoes tighter." I'm not used to having shoelaces.
Oh, 'cause you used to elastic laces, so you just slide
And
in.
I'm kinda just I'm used to, like, a gentle grade, and so it doesn't and also, like, an Ironman, like, your shoes are always, like, a little bit messed up, right? That you're
Yeah,
pouring water on yourself, you're doing all
sure,
that, but,
sure.
um, some of the initial silence of being alone was very jarring. Like, I think
Okay.
initially when Nick, the guy I was running with, ran away, and, no one caught up to me real quick. I it was very that was very jarring, and
Mhm.
because even the races that I've done, like Disney, New York City Marathon, those were almost, like, too many people, um,
Yeah.
and so this was, like I was like, "Oh my gosh." I was like, "Wow, am I bored?" Like, I was like, "What?" And I'm like, "No, no, look around, look at how beautiful it is. Like, look at your
Yeah.
footing," like, that kinda thing, but that was when I needed music, but after a little while, I, like, grew to love that. I was like, "I kinda
Yeah,
love this, I'm
yeah.
running through the woods, like, this is so cool," and, like, I started setting the little goals for myself, like, "Let's try to get a mile under 8-minute pace," which I
Mhm.
didn't do, but, so I think it was it was just very different because even Ironman like, even Kona and, like which is, like, quite solo sometimes, like, you can be alone on that road,
Mhm.
but you have an aid station, like, you're going to see other people,
Yeah,
and
every
you might
mile.
have yeah, even out there on the Queen K where they
Yeah.
don't allow a lot of spectators, there are some people,
Mhm.
and so that was definitely a new experience of being, like, very alone. I was very, very glad no one could watch me running down that last hill, those last few miles. I was aware where I was like, "I am so thankful no one can see me because I look like such a swimmer." Like, I don't even look like a triathlete, I look like a
Oh.
swimmer trying to navigate land. I was like, "I am not a land animal,"
You have,
and,
like, your
like
arms flying everywhere.
yeah, and I was just like, "Steps, they like little steps," and then that one guy flew by me, and I was like, "No, no one see me," but he actually said he was very nice afterwards. He's like, "No, you looked great," and I was like, "Oh, you're so kind." Everyone was so kind. Like, overall, that's my takeaway from the trail running community. People are very kind. They'd
They're
be
less
fine if I
pretentious than triathletes.
yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know. I didn't go full neon and my typical self. So maybe if I had, I would have gotten their true colors. No, I'm just kidding. But I think I next time I would like to wear more neon. I'd like to carry more food. I'd like to like test my gear a little bit more. But
Mhm.
it was a good, I did for the most part really enjoy it. And then maybe I just need to figure out like a little bit more of a balance between how much I care, how much I want it, like, and
Sure.
my training and expectations
Yeah,
for how
yeah.
I wanna feel during the race, so I will work on that, I'll work on that, but thank you for caring enough to come on and chat
Of
with me about it.
course. Yes, absolutely. Congratulations on your 2nd place. That's
Thank you,
amazing.
I did get this. I got a tile,
Oh,
so I don't know
that
if you
is
can
so
see it, isn't that
cool.
kinda
So it's like a
cool?
ceramic tile. It says
Yes.
Bangtail Divide 38K women's 2nd place, and it has the it's so cute. Okay, it has, like, the elevation map with the mile
Yeah.
markers. That's
I know,
awesome.
so you can kinda see how it's, like, all uphill and then kind of plateaus, and then there's, like, a little uphill at the end and then all downhill.
That's fantastic. It's a custom ceramic tile.
I
I
know.
love that kind of
I guess you can
award.
hang it up. I was actually gonna, like, put it out. I was like, "Oh, I should put it out, with, like, my flowers." But,
If you ever, like, retile your bathroom or kitchen, you can, like, put it into the wall.
my god, that's something I would
When
totally do.
it
If
would
you
be
can tell,
so
I have all my
epic.
trophies. I mean, I've already talked about this. Like, I have so many photos of myself around my house, and like, I'm like, in movies, and whenever they're showing like a villain, right, like a really bad guy, they're always going, they're looking at his
They have
house or his
all their
office,
self-portraits on
and they,
the wall.
and I'm like, it's me. I'm like, but how could I be even worse? I'm like, oh, if my kitchen was tiled with my trophy. The villain doesn't even go that far.
That's awesome.
I will aspire to that if I ever have enough money to retile my kitchen. We're doing it. We're doing it.
Yes, now you
Thank you for
gotta
that.
do it every year and, like, keep getting all these
Well,
tiles.
it's gonna take me a long time before I have that kind of money to redo my kitchen. So yes, maybe I'll keep going. I can
There
get
you
some
go.
masters when I get over 45. I got to go for that masters win. Hopefully, I mean that would be a wonderful that I feel like that's a good life goal to still be like fit and healthy enough to run that over 45. So, and
Yeah.
maybe by then I'll be, a little wiser. But Jocelyn, did you follow any of the triathlons that happened this past weekend?
Oh, yeah, I think so, yeah, Challenge Roth happened, I think, mostly while we were both sleeping, because I know I
Yes.
texted you in the morning, like, "What happened to Cat Matthews?" And you're like, "I don't
And
know,
I was
I
like,
woke up."
I know, I had just woken up. I was like, I have not looked at the results. But okay, I want to bring this up because Kat Matthews finished 4th in like an 8:36. She ran like a
Uh-huh.
2:54. And here you are like, what happened? I'm like, that's so fast. No one, yeah, again, no one asked what happened in my race, and I'm like, but I mean, that's how fast the racing is. I mean, Kat
Yeah,
didn't have like a terrible day. It wasn't like horrific. It wasn't like a flat that took her out. It just wasn't maybe the typical Kat where we had talked about previously, like maybe is
sure.
she gonna break a world record? Is she gonna break 8 hours? But so maybe for her it felt like an off day, but that big win, Alana Siffert
Mhm.
from Switzerland did win. She's like 24. I didn't realize she was that young because
Wow.
I feel like she has been racing Ironman for a little while. It does feel like to me like she was someone that people were waiting for her to have a big breakthrough.
Uh-huh.
I think she had won a lot of races in Asia and, the niche races in Europe that your former group would
So,
race.
yeah, I didn't realize she trained with my former group, but that makes a lot of sense that she had been racing all over Asia and then the what, Alpe d'Huez, Embrunman probably.
Right, and I don't know if she had done I know she's done some Ironmans, and I think it was sort of which again, I'm like, it's amazing that she's done several Ironmans before the age of 24, but she had done some, and I think it was sort of like she had a pretty solid swim, bike, and then kind of faded on the run, and
Okay.
maybe it took her till the ripe old age of 24 to figure
I did
out
not realize
her
she was that
fueling.
young.
But, I know. So I think, she ran like a 2:45 marathon there in Roth,
And they said
which
it
is
was like
really
30 minutes
fast.
faster than last year, like her marathon or
Yeah.
something.
I think she did race. She did race Roth last year.
Okay, yeah.
So,
She got 3rd in
yeah.
Roth last year.
And she ran way faster this year. That is where
Yeah,
the difference
yeah.
was her run. So, and she's done some of the T100s. I just don't think she's had quite that breakthrough race that she had today. So this last weekend. So congratulations to Alanis and Lucy Charles
Lucy Charles
Barclay.
Barclay, and everyone's talking about her, like, outfit of the day, which I was just cracking up about because it was, like, a two-piece bikini, which is, you know, I started triathlon in the year 2000, and that was, like, what all the pros raced in. So
Mhm.
just like yeah, she's just bringing back, like, the retro old school outfit, and now it's like how our clothes from, like, middle school and high school are, like, coming back in style.
She's doing Y2K triathlon fashion. That's
Yeah.
exactly what she did. I know when I saw her running in that, so she did. She changed out of like the tri kits of today with the sleeves, a lot more skin coverage. She changed out of that into like a two-piece, like what you see more like runners, like marathon runners running in these days. But also my
Yeah.
first thought was like she looks like Fernanda Keller.
Yeah.
Like Brazilian athlete who icon, third in Kona so many times, one Ironman visual so many times, but it did remind me of Fernanda Keller, Paula Newby Fraser, what they
Uh-huh.
would wear. I mean, it was a cool throwback, and I do wonder if this is a tactic for Kona to wear less clothing. Which I love. That was like one of the things that I always got scared of with Kona and the rules with Ironman because
What
as
about
someone
the
who
sports bra? Yeah.
yeah, because I'm someone I can't I mean, I did the T100 where they made us wear the sleeves on the run, and for 10 miles, I could do it, even in Singapore, which was, like, the hottest race ever, but I did not love it. I have broad shoulders. Lucy also has broad shoulders. I just don't love, like, the constriction, and
Mhm.
I just feel like having more fabric on you is hotter. It's just hotter, like,
Yeah, yeah.
and so I liked putting on I changed to shorts once in one Ironman, and then I did a lot with just, like, yeah, they let you, like, roll it up and, like, as long as you
But
had it all,
also,
like
what was up with the freaking cameras in the change tents?
were there cameras
'Cause
in the change
yeah,
tents in
so
Roth?
there was one clip where the camera people are, like, in the change tent with them, and they're like, "Oh, what's going on with Lucy? She's asking where the porta potty is," and it's like, "Because she wants to change her outfit, you freaking morons." Like, she's not gonna do it in front of the video cameras.
I do think this is a European thing versus US. So, like, US, I always found, like, you actually for Ironman, for full Ironman distance, you go
Yeah,
into, like, a private change tent. And so, I was able to, like, actually change. And, like, there are volunteers in there sometimes, but, like, also
yeah.
you really don't care. And so
Right, it's not
but there's no
cameras, not
cameras. There's no
live
camera.
streaming you, like, changing. Jeez.
Right, it's more like, this and but in Europe, I have seen that, like, where they don't really have, like, a private change tent, like, it's, like,
It's a
open,
European thing, yes, yes.
and which was also I got 1 penalty in my pro career, and it was a modesty penalty in
Did you
Europe.
flash a boob?
No, I unzipped the, like, 'cause I was wearing two-piece, and I unzipped on top, and I had a sports bra underneath. And
Oh.
they said that that was wrong, like, you can't unzip the zipper,
Wait, they're
I
so
in
not
transition.
modest, but you got penalized for
Right! I
not
like
being
this woman, like,
modest.
steps out and gives me a card, and I was like, "It's I thought it was okay if you have something underneath, like, I have a whole
Yeah,
'nother layer on."
yeah,
But
wow.
apparently that was not okay. I mean, it was fine, like, after I served the penalty, I was able to take it off and then run in the sports bra, and that was okay. And
Huh?
there
That's
was a
so
lot of weird,
weird.
like, interpretations of the zipper rule, right? And so
Yeah,
I think it
yeah.
was just I don't think that was a deserved penalty, but I served it, whatever. And so I do think that yeah, I mean, good job for Lucy going into the porta potty. I guess that's, like, not always the best place to change, but maybe when you're early enough in the race, the porta potties are
It's
pretty nice.
it's not hot and steaming. Gross.
So I'm like, you're, like, putting on, like I mean, you're, like, going from, like,
Uh,
spandex to spandex too, like,
yeah,
that's quite hard.
yeah.
So, it did I hope it was cooler, and, I mean, I appreciate the nostalgia and
Mhm.
throwback to the, early '90s, early 2000s triathlon, and if it helps her in Kona keep a little cooler, then
Yeah, now
that's
I'm
great.
excited to see what outfits people are gonna be rocking.
I know, I wonder if more people will start doing that, which I think is something about triathlon. We do see a lot of sometimes we see some, like, innovation and then groupthink. So, we'll
Yeah,
see if that's what
yeah,
happens.
yeah. I mean, she did, like, have the full sleeves and stuff for the aerodynamics on the bike, and then got into
Mhm.
that different outfit for the run.
Yes, but we've seen other people there's been a lot of other people who would change, like,
Mhm.
and especially in Kona, into, like, shorts and a tank top even,
Yeah, yeah.
just because it in Ironman, I think it's worth taking those 30
Just to
seconds
be more
sometimes.
comfortable. Yeah.
Yes, and so, I'm all for it, and if as long as, like, that was always one of my worries was I was like, "They're gonna make us race in, like, full sleeves, shoulders have to be covered," and I was like, "I gotta get out of this sport before that happens." That's why I go to trail running, but, I'm like, "Let me wear whatever I want." I'm gonna end up in High Rocks. I'll be like, "Can I please do this where you don't wear any clothes?" But, just kidding, but yes, it was a great, great race, and then I think it was Daisy Davies, who was the Ironman South Africa champion. She rounded out that podium. Kat was 4th. Carolina Pole, who that was also making her debut, German athlete, was 5th. So it was a good, solid race. Sam
Mhm.
Laidlow going the fastest ever
Oh,
Ironman split.
he beat
The
Christian
men's
Blumenfeld.
yeah, like 7:21, like, oh, and it was faster than Christian went in Cozumel a few years ago, faster than Christian went in
Uh,
Texas, so but I'm also like, "Oh my gosh, Christian just raced another Ironman." I'm like but I guess Cat was similar, right? Like, they were in New
sure,
Zealand,
sure.
they were in Texas, they did Roth. I'm like, "Man, these people, different
I
level."
used to race a lot like that, just not that fast.
Yeah. It's and they go very fast. I mean, Christian wasn't that far behind Sam, and then Rico Bogan rounded out that men's podium. I think also his Ironman distance debut. So I did have an athlete, Bethany, who was in Roth, and she had a
Ooh.
fantastic day. And
Yay, Bethany!
I texted with her a little bit. She broke 5 hours on the run for the first time in an
Okay,
Ironman
amazing.
run and went way under, like 4:41. So really, really solid
Wow.
run. And I know, um, she said that the crowds were really, very cool. And so she
Mhm.
did enjoy that Roth experience. So I haven't gotten the full download, but I think um it's a special race. I never made it there, but I do think the people who do seem to really, really, really enjoy that race.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
congratulations to everyone who did that and, other all the other 4th of July races around the US, all the Firecracker 5Ks, I think, Peachtree, some good races, so, that was Peachtree was Brittany Talbot, I think ran who's been on this podcast, and then Shelly Anderson, who's also been on this podcast. They
Mhm.
both ran, so we were all over the place. We were all over the place, but other running through the sprinkler like Ainsley. But Jocelyn, thank you again for coming on and letting me recap my race. I really appreciate it. And thank you to all
Yay.
of our listeners who did want to hear about it. And keep the tips coming. I'm going to be better about taking good advice here on out. So if people have tips, write in, write it on our Instagram. Tell me what your tips are. How do I get better? How do I eat more food? I at least would like to feel better, even if I'm not going as fast.
Yeah. Uncrustables. A lot of people eat Uncrustables.
I know, I saw someone crush with the 100 milers. I mean, I
Uh-huh.
used to do that on the bike. Again, I'm like
Yeah.
but for some reason, I think I must have just been at that effort level where, like, all I wanted was a gel, but I just gotta have more gels, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. I guess it is just more. Maybe it's because 'cause you're, like, going uphill more, you want more calories? I don't know. But anyway, I'll report back maybe after my next one, or I'm gonna find trail races that are all under 10 miles.
Before you get hungry.
We'll figure this one out. But thanks, Jocelyn. Happy 4th of July and
You too.
have a great week.
All right. Talk to you soon.